The wrench slipped from Marcus's fingers when he saw the Vel'kari elder collapse in the docking bay. 300 years of galactic diplomacy, and Ambassador Thel'vaan's legs simply gave out beneath him like rusted landing struts. "Someone help him," Marcus shouted, but the other mechanics just stared. Vel'kari were untouchable, literally. Their caste system forbade lower species from physical contact with elders. Marcus didn't care. He was already running, his oil-stained boots pounding against the metal floor. The ambassador's attendants stood frozen, their protocol chips unable to process a human approaching their master. "I can't walk anymore," Thel'vaan said, his voice thin as solar wind. His 4 eyes blinked in confusion at the human kneeling beside him. "My locomotion implants have failed. The journey to the summit. The summit's in 2 hours," Marcus said, already scanning the elder's leg mechanisms. Vel'kari weren't fully organic. Their lower bodies were biomechanical, a fusion of flesh and ancient technology that only their own kind understood. Or so everyone believed. "You're a ship mechanic," Thel'vaan observed, his translator crackling. "You repair engines, legs, it's all just moving parts." Marcus pulled out his diagnostic tool. "May I?" the attendants hissed. One reached for a weapon. "He touches you, Ambassador, and we execute him per the caste protocols." Thel'vaan raised a trembling hand. "Wait, hi." Marcus met the elder's gaze. 4 alien eyes studied him, searching for something. Mockery? Ambition? The usual human greed? "Why would you help me, human? You gain nothing. Your station forbids this." "Because you're hurt," Marcus said simply. "And I can fix things." A long silence. Then Thel'vaan nodded. "Proceed." The attendant's shock rippled through the bay like a shockwave. Marcus ignored them, his fingers already tracing the damaged neural pathways in the ambassador's leg. The technology was old, older than human spaceflight, but mechanics were mechanics. He could do this. What he didn't see was the assassin watching from the shadows, reporting back to those who wanted the summit to fail. 3 hours of work. Marcus's back screamed, his eyes burned, but Thel'vaan's legs hummed with renewed power. "Remarkable," the ambassador said, taking experimental steps. "You've done what our own technicians could not. Your technicians were afraid to try anything new." Marcus wiped his hands. Sometimes old machines just need someone willing to get dirty. Over the following days, something unprecedented happened. Thel'vaan requested Marcus as his personal mechanic for the summit. The Galactic Council was horrified. A human? Attending a Vel'kari elder? The caste violation alone could spark an incident. But Thel'vaan insisted. "He sees function, not status," the ambassador told the council. A refreshing perspective. Marcus found himself in halls he'd never dreamed of entering, surrounded by species who viewed humans as barely sentient labor. He kept his head down, did his work, and slowly, impossibly, earned something like respect from the old alien. "You eat alone," Thel'vaan observed one evening. "Mechanics don't dine with diplomats. Tonight you do." It wasn't friendship. Vel'kari didn't have that concept. But it was something, a recognition that Marcus existed beyond his function. The threats started on the 5th day. Anonymous messages. Warnings that the summit would end in blood. Security tightened. But Marcus noticed things the guards missed. A maintenance worker who didn't know his tools. A delivery that arrived at the wrong time. "Ambassador," he said quietly during a recess, "something's wrong." Thel'vaan listened. Unlike others, he didn't dismiss the human's instincts. "What do you propose?" "Let me check the summit chamber. Tonight, before the final session. That area is restricted to—" "I know what I am," Marcus interrupted. "But I also know when a machine's about to break down. And something in this station is very broken." The ambassador studied him with those four ancient eyes. "You risk execution for trespassing. I risk you dying if I don't." Another long silence. Then, softly, "Why do you care, Marcus?" "Truly?" Marcus thought about it. The honest answer surprised even him. "Because you're the first person in this galaxy who looked at me and saw more than a wrench holder. I don't know how to repay that except by keeping you alive." Thel'vaan's expression shifted, something Marcus couldn't read. "Go. But be careful." Marcus found the bomb at 300 hours. It was elegant work, hidden in the chamber's atmospheric processors, designed to release a toxin specifically lethal to Vel'kari biology. The summit's final session would become a massacre. He was disarming it when they found him. 3 figures. Professional, silent. The human mechanic, one said. We wondered who'd been asking questions. Marcus's hands didn't stop working. "You're too late. I've already transmitted the bomb's location to security." A lie. His communicator lay smashed on the floor. "Then we'll just have to be quick." The first blade caught him across the ribs. Marcus gasped but kept working. The second strike opened his shoulder. Blood made his fingers slick. "Stop," one assassin commanded. "Stop or you'll what? Kill me faster." Marcus laughed. A wet sound. "I'm already dead, but so is your plan." The final wire. He pulled it. The bomb went inert. The assassin's rage was immediate. Marcus felt the third blade punch through his back, felt his legs give out. He hit the floor hard, blood pooling beneath him. "Fool," the lead assassin spat. "You died for an alien who wouldn't cross the street to save you." "Maybe," Marcus whispered. "But he'll live. That's enough." They left him there, fleeing before security arrived. Marcus watched his blood spread across the cold metal floor and thought, "At least I fixed something that mattered." Thel'vaan found him. The ambassador himself, moving faster than his ancient legs should allow, pushing past security, past protocol, past 300 years of caste conditioning. "No," the elder breathed, dropping to his knees beside the broken human. "No, no, no. Ambassador, you cannot touch." Silence. The word cracked like thunder. Thel'vaan's hands that hadn't touched a lower species in 2 centuries, pressed against Marcus's wounds. "You fool," the ambassador whispered. "You absolute fool. Why? Why?" Marcus's eyes fluttered open. Focused. A weak smile crossed his blood-flecked lips. "Hey, legs still working? You're dying. You're dying." "You ask about my legs. Had to. Make sure the repair held." Thel'vaan's 4 eyes glistened with something his species supposedly couldn't produce. Tears. "I don't understand," he said, voice breaking. "I don't understand you. You're a mechanic. A human. I'm nothing to you. I should be nothing to you. Why would you die for me?" Marcus's hand found the ambassador's, weak, trembling, but there, because you needed help. And I could help. That's not a reason. That's not. Humans don't. Yeah, Marcus breathed. We do. We really, really do. His eyes closed. Medic? Someone get a medic now. 17 days in critical care. Thel'vaan didn't leave. Not once. The Galactic Council sent representatives, demanded his presence, threatened sanctions. The ambassador ignored them all. "You're destroying your career," his attendants warned. "Then it deserves destruction." He sat beside the human's bed, watching machines breathe for the creature who had bled for him. Watching and trying to understand. On the 18th day, Marcus opened his eyes. "You're still here? Where else would I be?" Marcus tried to laugh, winced instead. "The summit concluded successfully. Because of you." Thel'vaan leaned forward. The assassins were caught. The conspiracy exposed. You saved not just me, but the entire peace process. Good. That's good. Silence stretched between them. Finally, Thel'vaan spoke. I have studied humans for 300 years. I thought I understood your species, your ambitions, your fears, your endless hunger for advancement. He paused. I understood nothing. We're not that complicated. You are incomprehensible. The word carried wonder, not frustration. You nearly died for someone who, by every measure of logic, should mean nothing to you. You violated every protocol, every survival instinct, every rational calculation. For what? Because I needed help. Marcus was quiet for a moment. Ambassador, when I was 12, my father died fixing a reactor leak on a mining station. He could have run. Everyone else did. But there were people trapped below, and he stayed until they got out. He swallowed. He didn't know them. They weren't his family, his friends, his species. But they needed help, and he could help. So he did. And he died. And 43 people lived. Marcus met Thel'vaan's eyes. That's who we are. Not always. Not all of us. But enough of us, often enough, that it matters. We're the species that runs toward the fire. Thel'vaan sat back, something shifting in his ancient features. I have a proposal, he said finally. The Council has authorized me to select a personal aide for my remaining years of service. Someone outside traditional caste structures. Someone who sees function over status. Ambassador, the position comes with full diplomatic immunity, quarters on the Vel'kari homeworld, and access to the finest medical care in the galaxy. Thel'vaan's voice softened. It also comes with an old alien who has discovered, far too late in life, what it means to have a friend. Marcus stared at him. You're offering me a job. I almost died. You almost died for me. The least I can do is ensure you live well afterward. The ambassador's hand found Marcus's, a gesture that would have been unthinkable weeks ago. I am old, Marcus. I have served the galaxy for 3 centuries, and never once has anyone valued my life above their own. I did not know that was something I was missing until you showed me. I'm just a mechanic. You are the finest mechanic I have ever known. You fix things that others believe cannot be fixed. Thel'vaan smiled, an expression Marcus had never seen on a Vel'kari face, including, it seems, old aliens who had forgotten how to feel. Marcus closed his eyes. When he opened them again, they were wet. Yeah, he said quietly. Yeah, okay. But I'm still calling you ambassador. I don't care how many fancy titles you give me. I would expect nothing less. 6 months later, the Galactic Council formally recognized the Marcus Doctrine, a provision allowing cross-species bonds of service outside traditional caste structures. It was controversial. It was unprecedented. It changed everything. Because word spread. Stories of the human mechanic who took 3 blades for an alien elder, who asked about leg repairs while bleeding out, who couldn't explain why he did it except that someone needed help, and he could help. Other humans started stepping forward. Other species started letting them. And slowly, one act of inexplicable loyalty at a time, the galaxy began to understand what humanity had always known. Sometimes the smallest person in the room has the biggest heart. Sometimes the one who fixes machines can fix something far more important. And sometimes, I can help is the most powerful phrase in any language. On the anniversary of that night, Thel'vaan found Marcus in the workshop, elbow deep in an engine that didn't need fixing. You're hiding. I'm working. You're hiding from the ceremony. Marcus sighed. I don't need a statue, ambassador. I don't need speeches. I just did what anyone would do. That, Thel'vaan said softly, is precisely why you deserve them. Because you genuinely believe that. Because to you, bleeding for a stranger is simply what one does. He placed a hand on Marcus's shoulder. Thank you, my friend. For my legs. For my life. For teaching an old alien that the galaxy still has wonders in it. Marcus smiled, grease-stained and uncomfortable with praise as always. Anytime, Ambassador. That's what mechanics are for. Outside the workshop window, ships from 100 worlds pass by, a galaxy slowly learning that humanity's greatest export wasn't technology or resources. It was heart. And it was changing everything.